The US has been one of the hardest hit nations during the COVID-19 pandemic, both in terms of the number of virus cases and the cumulative loss of economic activity through the first half of 2020, which is equivalent to 10% of GDP. Even though the virus remains active across the country, the US economy came roaring back during the 3 months of September. The reported annualised GDP gain of 33% in the September quarter largely reversed the 31% contraction seen in the June quarter. Importantly, this growth was broad-based across the economy, albeit most concentrated in household consumption, which rose at a 41% annualised pace. There are two aspects of this consumption gain that are worthy of closer inspection. First, as seen the world over, the restrictions placed on the services sector, as well as continuing fears over the virus's spread, put in motion an 82% annualised surge in durable goods spending, leaving activity in this subsector 12% higher than at the end of 2019. Results unimaginable pre-COVID. Very clearly, households perceive there to be lasting change from this pandemic and accordingly have upgraded their homes and limited their need to use public transport by buying additional cars. Services spending also surged in the September quarter, albeit from a much lower base. Highlighting this, even though spending on services grew at an annualised pace of 38% in the 3 months of September, the level of activity remains almost 8% lower than at December 19. Notably, even as the new case count fell through summer, some restrictions remained in place, and fears over the virus also continue to affect households' confidence and consumption choices. In addition to consumption, recent developments in consumer demand for housing are also important to highlight. Just as the pandemic has supercharged demand for household appliances to improve consumers' lifestyle and additional cars to reduce their need for public transport, it has also seen households value their home much more. This is seen in home sales and price growth, but most clearly through the strength in new residential construction, which rose at a 59% annualised pace in the September quarter, leaving the level of activity in the sector 5% higher than at December 19. Arguably, the biggest surprise for us in the September quarter GDP report was business investment. While core durable goods orders remain lacklustre, the BEA report equipment spending on a GDP basis surged back in the 3 months of September. Admittedly, despite the 70% annualised gain in equipment spending by businesses in the quarter, total business investment is still 5% lower than in December 2019. This comes as a result of the depth of the decline in the first half of the year, but also as the other key component of real investment continues to contract. Non-residential construction falling at a 15% annualised pace in the quarter to be down 14% since December 2019. This result speaks to the specific shock that has come to the US energy sector because of the low oil price. But, more broadly, it also signals the fragility of this business sector recovery overall. Amid uncertainty related to the virus and next week's presidential election, arguably firms are willing to invest in items necessary to maintain current capacity. But, until sustained strength is seen broadly across consumer and external demand, a persistent, robust expansion of aggregate capacity should not be assumed. While the US recovery from COVID-19 has exceeded initial expectations, and there is clear strength in the detail, with new cases rising sharply and fiscal support fading, it is difficult to believe that the full cost of this recession will be recovered quickly. We will reassess our forecast after next week's election result, but for now as a guide, the US economy is likely to finish 2020 around 2.5 percentage points smaller than at the end of 2019, with this deficiency only made up by late 2021. Given COVID-19 spread, risk here also seems skewed downward. We'll see you next week.